I want to talk more about the forecast itself, so let's bring in Tyler Fleming, senior meteorologist at the National Weather Service over in the Tampa Bay area. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. I know you are very busy, so we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good morning. Well, can you go over the latest stats here on Milton? Because at last check, we're talking a Category 5 major hurricane.
Yeah, it's currently a Category 5 hurricane expected to make landfall somewhere on the west coast of Florida uh, later tonight into the overnight hours as a little bit of weakening before it makes landfall, but still being a major hurricane at landfall with significant life-threatening impacts.
And I don't know if this is the correct way necessarily to ask it, but does the category really matter? Because folks will say that, it's weakening to a Category 4, but that is still a very, very powerful storm.
Yeah, you're exactly right. A Category 4, even a strong Category 3, that's still a major hurricane, still life-threatening wind, very life-threatening surge impacts, somewhere for the coastline, in addition to pretty significant rainfall. We're looking at 6 to 12 inches of rainfall with localized amounts of up to 18 inches.
And would you say, because something that's been mentioned a lot is that this is now one of the most powerful hurricanes in recorded history. I imagine those records go back pretty far. So does this appear to be one of the strongest that you've seen?
It is. In my career, I mean, I've seen just Helene a couple weeks ago was a significant storm. Ian and Irma were ones that stand out in my mind. But seeing what this is doing out in the Gulf really kind of wakes you up and makes you concerned for what can happen tomorrow or tonight, I should say.
It is still, as of this point, expected to weaken, correct, before it does make landfall. And again, I use the term weaken when we're still talking about a powerful storm.
Right. It's going to weaken, but not enough to spare the Florida area from the significant impacts. And even as it weakens, the tropical storm force winds are going to expand and impact a much bigger area. So it's still going to be a very significant storm that's going to do a lot of damage across Florida.
Tampa Bay, that area specifically, doesn't necessarily see a direct hit from hurricanes. And at this point, I noticed that the track did go a little bit south. So the impacts, though, will still be felt in Tampa, right? And they're going to be very powerful.
We have seen the trend of the track shifting south the last couple advisories. But remember, this far out, we're 24, 30 hours away from landfall. The average track error is still about 30 to 40 miles, just the National Hurricane Center's average track. So we still could see that shift back up to the north, and that can bring those historic surge numbers into the Tampa Bay. But wherever it hits will cause a significant, very life-threatening storm surge.
I asked about the fact that the category itself, folks shouldn't necessarily pay close attention just to that because it doesn't really factor in necessarily the rainfall, the flooding, that sort of situation. But as far as the cone itself, should folks really be focused on that?
No, the cone is showing just the uncertainty of where the center of the storm could be. The impacts can and will be felt well outside of that cone, especially what I said. The wind field, the tropical storm force wind field, is going to be expanding later today. It's going to be a very wide impacts well outside of where that cone is.
Inland, places like Orlando, Florida, for instance, we've been checking in with our Fox 35 Orlando team a lot. Those areas that are far inland could still see hurricane effects, right?
Absolutely. I think it's forecasted to maintain about a Category 1 strength all the way across the Florida Peninsula. So we could see those very strong winds being felt inland, in addition to the rainfall I mentioned earlier, causing flash flooding and urban flooding and river flooding that's going to last into next week.
And a lot of people who were impacted by Helene, it looks like, are going to be impacted again by this storm.
Yeah, I know a lot of the area is still in the process of cleaning up and recovering from Helene. Unfortunately, at least some part of our coast is going to see surge numbers that probably will surpass what they saw from Helene. And that's unfortunate, and people need to do the best they can to prepare for that.
All right. Tyler Fleming there, senior meteorologist at the National Weather Service over in Tampa. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. I know you have a busy few days ahead of you. Anything else you want to add about the storm itself before I let you go?
Yeah, when we're running out of time, people need to make their final preparations. If you're in an evacuation zone, you need to take that very seriously, and you should already be in the process of evacuating.
All right. Thank you again for taking the time to be here with us today. Please stay
All right,
safe.
thank you.